What up? This is Robert Horry.
Horry, three-pointer. Buries it.
You might know me as Big Shot Bob.
To Horry for three. Oh, unbelievable. This guy is off the charts.
What's going on, Big Shot Bob?
Robert Horry from downtown.
Well, I know what's going on. Let's call it 2026. Our first meeting in the new year. This is episode 243. That's B-Dog Brandon Harper. I'm Rob Jenners. That, of course, the namesake of this program, Big Shot Bob, seven-time NBA champion, Robert Horry. How are you,
Hey,
sir?
man, I am great.
How was,
What's up, fellas?
Yeah, how was the
woke up.
holidays, man? How'd everybody do? I know we talked a few times on, text and shit, mostly just us kind of going back and forth, but how'd everything go, man? How was your holiday?
Man, my holiday was great. My mom came in. My two oldest boys came in. So it was a lot of cooking in the house, a lot of fun. We had game night. Have you ever played Drop the Mic, I think it's called, or something like that, where you flip over a card and whatever word comes up, you have to sing a song that has that word in. You have to grab the mic.
No,
That's
I've
called
never
Grab the
played
Mic.
that. Grab the
It's
mic.
actually,
No.
it's really fun, man. So we did that, and we just played a lot of games and just enjoyed one another because they hadn't, my three boys and my mom, we hadn't gotten together in a long, long time. So it was fun.
Good.
How about you guys?
Harp, how was your holiday?
It was good. We all came over to my mom's house like we do pretty much every year for as long as I can remember. And, we ate good. Kids opened gifts. We do the exchanging of names during Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. So then it gives everybody time to go get a gift and we exchange them. Like we do everything through the Elfster app, and everybody puts their top three things that they want within a certain price range, and whoever pulls your name gets one of them, two of them, or all of them if they want to. So
Damn.
that's for the adults.
Yeah.
We did that too, but we have a I think it's $50 limit.
Yep, we do too.
And, and we just like, nah, just get us something. And so it's like, because you get great gifts or you get bad gifts, and then what you do, you just re-gift it somewhere else. So
How it works. Yeah, we were good, man. Everybody, we host everything because we are the main household amongst all the kids. Austin and his wife came over with their baby, so I got to spend some quality time with the grandbaby, who is just 3 months old, but about the size of a what seems like a 2-year-old. Baby is growing very fast. But no, she's great, man, and it was just quiet. It was everybody just hanging out the house, doing gifts. Like my daughter's 13. She loves to just get stuff for everybody, so it's always kind of fun for her to kind of venture off and see what she picks out for everyone, and everyone got to open their stuff, and it was quiet. We cooked. We hung out, we played video games, and that was it, man. Took it easy. So
Rob,
Yep.
did you have something green for New Year's and some black eyed peas for luck? What you have for your New Year's dinner?
we made a roast, so I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Is there like a tradition I'm missing here or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah, it's the old crazy tradition that a lot of people feel as though they have to eat black eyed peas
For good
to
luck.
start their new year off. And then people you got to eat 12 grapes underneath the table, one for each month. It's weird.
We don't do that one. I have one of my really, really good friends, Maria Mukata Alawi. She's her family. They go out on Christmas Eve and they run around the neighborhood with luggage. And that's supposed to be for good luck and for great travel. They're going to travel. I'm like, what the hell? But they do it every year.
That's a weird one.
Yeah, her mother is like in her 70s or 80s, and she gets out there with her luggage and they run around the neighborhood.
I've never
and
heard of that.
The funny part is the neighborhood knows they do it, and they all come out and watch and cheers them on. So it's funny.
That's fun. Yeah, no, we don't do any of that kind of stuff. We don't have any kind of weird traditions.
Yeah.
I've never heard of the other one. The black-eyed peas and the something.
That's been around for a long time.
Yeah,
how about you, Harp? Like my grandmother, I remember she used to make me get up like at 6 a.m. because she had this tradition where the first person that comes to your house has to be a man or a male. And I used to say, Grandma, I'm 12 years old. I ain't coming to your house. I'm not a man yet. She said, no, I just need a male in my house. You're a man to me. Get here. And so I would have to go to the house, walk in the house, hug her, and then I would go back home and go back to bed. So the first person that comes to your house, that was just a tradition she had.
Okay.
So,
I have never
That's a weird
in my life heard of that.
you haven't?
No, not until this day at Eastern Time,
Was she-
12:07.
Was she looking for a man, and this was like her first man in the house? This means good luck with men this year or something. Like, what's the?
No,
that's a-
that was. I don't know what the tradition meant, but yeah, she had that in her mind.
Okay.
And she passed it on until my mom did. Till my mom got to a point, she's like, I don't know about my damn house.
Do you guys? This is kind of a antiquated question, but do you guys do New Year's resolutions or no?
No, that's not my thing. I look at it like, whatever I need to take care of. Usually what it is that what a lot of people would kind of set as their New Year's resolution, it's stuff that I'm just kind of doing throughout the year kind of anyway. So it's
Okay.
it's kind of it's a little weird for me to kind of just have a resolution, and I've never really kind of been kind of on that. Like whatever I got to do, let me go do it.
Sure.
So
Yeah, it's for me, it's always the same. Eat better, take care of myself. But I do have one this year. And I think because at my age, and I've been losing a lot of friends, that if I think about someone, I send them a text or call them.
That's a good one.
That's my New Year's resolution, because you have to stay in touch with people and let them know you're thinking about them, you care about them. Even if it's like a 2-second, yo, man, I just want to say, I'm thinking about you. I know you're busy. Holler at me when you get a chance. So that's my New Year's resolution, is just to reach out to people and let
I
them know
like
I'm
that.
thinking about them.
But that's a good one. See, I don't ever make a New Year's resolution, but it's always around the first of the year that I realize that the last 2 months have been like a crappy food fest for me, and I've put on like 15 pounds. So usually like the first of the year up until like opening day of baseball is like let me see how much weight I can lose and see if I can kind of get back in shape, and it's not a resolution as much as a realization of, oh man, I ate like shit for 2 months. I ate a lot of crap, and I drank a lot, and I didn't exercise, and oops. So usually it's got to get back on right.
I think with the Robs on this show, we have to take care of ourselves because we both had ticker problems. So we have to really eat well and then exercise. If it's not even for like 30 to 45 minutes, that we got to get some kind of exercise in, man.
Yeah.
Because our tickers need us to keep ticking.
They sure do. They sure do. I'll give you my last thing from Christmas, and we'll move on because we got a lot to go over. Christmas Day, we're unwrapping gifts on Christmas Day, and my younger son Jake, I say younger, he's 27, got Jane a Shaq gummies, like those Shaq gummy treats. Now, not the adult gummies, but just like his, but they're ridiculous because they're shaped like his big ass fat head.
So it's the purple bag?
Yeah. But they're
All
like they're just regular gummies. They're not like grown up gummies.
I'm gonna tell y'all something right now, and me and the big fella may need to talk, because I'm probably one of many people keeping that thing the stock still up on that. Every time I go to the store, I get a pack. It's ridiculous. Ever since that's come out, I grab a pack, especially the purple. I like them. They're good.
Yeah, I'm saying you're keeping his ass in business. But anyway, so
need to talk.
To your point, I take a picture of her holding up her Shaq gummies, and I just text it to Shaquille, and I go, hey, man, Merry Christmas, love you, thinking about you. Janie got Shaq gummies for Christmas. 2 seconds later, FaceTime call from Shaq. He's at TNT's working. They had worked the Christmas Day games. And he's like, man, I ain't talked to you in forever. What are you doing? So I talked to Shaq for a good 10 minutes on Christmas Day. And I ain't heard from that. I ain't heard from that fool in a long time. But it took Janie getting a pack of Shaq gummies for him to call. So, but he did say he's going to pay us a visit sometime this year on the show. He's going to drop in and goof off with us sometime. So I got to get back with him and see a time we can come goof off with us one time on the show. So
sounds good.
Well, I mean, how besides that, we had a lot of stuff going on NBA-wise during the holidays throughout. Where do you want to start? Because I've got a bunch of things on this sheet. The big story in Atlanta this week is Trey Young. We've also we got stuff with the Celtics. We got stuff with the Lakers. How much did you work? Did you work at all over the holidays?
Nope.
Not at all?
Nope.
Oh, man.
I worked today, though.
Do you work tonight?
Yeah. Hey,
Okay.
that's the one thing when it comes by you have tenure. You're like, no, from the 23rd until now, I ain't working.
Oh, you actually get
Yeah.
to set those rules. Okay, good for you.
I got family in town.
Good for
I'll
you.
holler at y'all in the new year.
Good for you, man. Who's tonight? Who do they got tonight?
They got New Orleans, the
The
Pelicans.
Pelicans. Okay.
Yeah, because I know they're at I think tomorrow they're in San Antonio, right?
Correct.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah. So the weird number I had in the Lakers, and this is why I asked if you had worked at all. I mean, they're at a good place right now. I think 22-11 or something like that. I mean, they're sitting right there. I think they're third in the West right now, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I think they're
They're
like
fourth?
4 or 5.
Yeah, they're right there. I mean, there's like 5 teams that are bunched up within a game of each other, like they always are in the West. But the weird number was 3,870 points scored by the Lakers this season. 3,870 points given up by the Lakers this season. So they're at a perfect 0 differential.
Yeah.
But they're 11 games over 500. So they've found more wins in there than losses, but that's just a weird number. It's like a very Thanos perfectly balanced, you know what I mean, as all things should be kind of number.
Yeah, Houston and LA have the same record. Houston's sitting at 4, LA sitting at 5. So that's just
Oh, they're down to 5 now. Damn.
Yeah. But here's the crazy part. It's like the Lakers have the 7th or 8th best record in the NBA at 22-11.
that tells you how crazy the West is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the West is, but I mean, the West is just. Let's go to the standings real quick because the West is. By the way, last time we talked, the Thunder had lost 2 games. Since then, they've gone 6-6.
Yep.
They are down to 30 and. Or I think they only lost 1 game last time we talked. Maybe they just lost their second. But yeah, 24-1 to start the season, 6-6 since then. They're at 30-7. So I think that dream, that 70-win dream that we talked about, that might be slipping away a little quick. For context, the 73-9 Warriors with the best record ever didn't catch their 6th loss until March. So I think your 70-win season might be starting to kind of drift a little here because you're already down to 7 losses. So.
I haven't seen OKC game yet, but I really would like to watch one to see what's going on. If they're getting the calls they normally get, or why they've lost so many games. I know, the step back 3 by Brooks was one of the killers.
Yep.
But I want to see how they playing because I think that when you see them losing like this, I hadn't heard about Shea getting to the free throw line and all this kind of stuff. So it's interesting to see what's.
Well, their latest loss to Charlotte was an absolute beatdown.
That was a travesty.
They lost by 30 plus.
And Charlotte's only won like 12 games this season.
In their building.
Yeah,
yes, in their building.
In OKC's building.
Yeah, that's one of the more. LaMelo was hitting circus shots. Brandon Miller had a hell of a night. I think it's part of the season, and this is part of the ebbs and flows of a long basketball season where you're on a high, but eventually you come back down a little bit because now every team that comes into your building or everywhere you go, anything that happen on any given night, teams are going to give you their best shot.
Always.
You get lackadaisical. You feel as though you don't have to play as hard. Your defense doesn't have to be as locked down. You're not putting up that was the first time. That was the first time I think they had been held under 100 points all season long.
Is it really?
Wow.
Yes, I believe so. Charlotte was the first team that held them under 100 points all season long, I believe. That's crazy.
That is crazy for Charlotte to be the one that does that. Yeah. Well, to your note, 3 of their 7 losses have been to the Spurs.
Oh,
so it seems like San Antonio's got their number a little bit.
Yeah.
If anybody in the league does, you know what I mean?
San Antonio puts a lot of pressure on them.
They do.
Those guards push the ball. Those guards are active. We know Wemby. We get that. But those 4 guards that they have push the ball. They get it off the rim. They either take it from out of the basket, off the rim, and they are pushing. There's no let up.
When you look at San Antonio, it's like they got those 3 guards you mentioned. And if you think about throughout the league, there's not a team that has 3 guards like that can put you on your heels. And because let's be honest, Shea Gilgeous, he's not a great defender. Williams, a little bit better than Shea. And when you got guards that are attacking like that and you beating Chet down the floor, you got no rim protection. it's hard to stop them, man. If they shooting it, they gonna kill you. If they not shooting it and they defense is on, they still might beat you. And that's the one thing that we haven't talked about with the Spurs. Their defense is pretty damn good. Those three guards, they don't mind playing both ends of the floor. So that's why they so dangerous. I didn't think they developed maybe this quickly, but their development has skyrocketed past the point where I thought they would be.
Yeah. And to your point, their record kind of reflects it at this point. They're 25-10. They're sitting at number 2. And the more OKC drops, the closer the Spurs get to that number 1 seed. So there is a possibility that you could see an OKC Spurs top 2 battle for the first spot in the West as we get later in the season if OKC doesn't kind of find I'm going to say to right the ship. They're 30-7. They're not doing that much wrong. But to go, 6-6 in your last 12, that's not really the trend you want to follow if you're OKC. But, man, Spurs are getting it done, though. Spurs are getting it done right now. And we already talked about Lakers at 3. Nuggets right there. I'm sorry, the Lakers fell back, but the Nuggets are 24-12. The Rockets, 22-11. Timberwolves, 23-13. Suns, 21-15. So everybody's right there in the West.
One of the things that we have to look out for the Nuggets is the fact that Jokic is out for that month. Well, it was a month, I think, last week with the hyperextended knee, which they have to be very fortunate that that's all it was, because I saw that play live. And once I saw it, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's a hyperextension. And, once you get the MRI, you're hoping that it's just that, that's what it was.
Torn or, yeah.
And so being, reevaluated after a month. So, you want to see where if the Nuggets can hold court and kind of maintain until the Joker gets back, or do they take a little bit of a dip? Because let me be honest with you. I think seeds 1 through 6 are all separated by at least no less than 2.5 games.
Well, I mean, you got to take the Thunder out of that mix.
Well, yeah, take the Thunder. Well, 2 through 6. My bad.
Yeah,
2 through 6.
I say 7 because you got to throw the Suns in there too.
Yeah, the Suns are right there.
Yeah, Suns are there too.
Suns are right there.
So you're talking about 2 through 7, all separated by no more than 2.5, 3 games.
Yeah, and that's always how it is in the West. It seems to be that way every year. Before we get off of where we are in the West, I wanted to bring this up. It's not on your show sheet, but I saw it this morning. I pulled the audio because I was like, all right, so Durant hits the game winner against Phoenix. Did you hear what he said after the game?
I did.
Okay, I want to play the audio because I want to get both of your takes on it because I thought this was interesting. So they're asking Durant, what's it feel like to hit the game winner over your former team?
A place that I didn't want to leave, and my first time being I don't want to sound too dramatic, but I will, to be kicked out of a place, you know what I'm saying? And felt like that, I've been scapegoated, you know what I'm saying, for the issues we had as a team last year. Yeah, it felt good to beat them and hit a game-winning shot, but that's all it is. It's not just for the moment, It's something tomorrow I won't even think about, So it was a fun game. Like I said, of course, I felt you play with a little chip on your shoulder against your former team, especially when they trade you.
I don't know. I just thought that was kind of interesting that he thought he felt like he was the scapegoat on that Suns team when that kind of fell apart.
Yeah.
Y'all remember? You remember when we talked about this not a long time ago, but we talked about this a while ago, and I think I've made reference to this a few times. KD, by far, is not a discussion, is a superstar. He's a future Hall of Famer. He's all that. That's not even up for discussion. But we always said from a mentality standpoint, I've always felt as though he was a guy who wanted the superstar treatment, wanted the superstar everything, has the superstar skill set. But when it came to mentality sometimes, I just never thought that he was built to handle the mental load of everything that came along with being the man. Maybe that's wrong on my part. Maybe I'm saying it wrong and describing it wrong, but dog, you were going to be the scapegoat. You're the star. You're the man. And they had to trade you because you were really the most movable piece. They weren't trading Devin Booker.
Devin Booker, no way.
And really, Bradley Beal, I mean, it was hard to trade him then. You know what I'm saying? So
he was hurt.
Who was the only option available that was going to allow them to get assets back? You were the only guy. And regardless of how, I just feel as though everywhere KD has been, it almost makes it feel like he's passing the buck to somebody else. It's like, how could they do this to me? Bro, the woe is me type of mentality stuff kind of gets old from KD. And I think he's one of the biggest superstars that we continuously hear this from wherever he goes. It's the woe is me. How could they do this? Womp, womp, womp. You know, it's the Charlie Brown thing every womp, 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 womp every time. And I'm like, yo, I get it. But sometimes you got to let that stuff roll off you as a superstar and kind of move on. And I just think sometimes he just can't let some of that stuff go. Yeah. And that just might be my perspective. But sometimes I'm just like, he sure does complain a lot every place he's been as if he's not the man.
We've also talked about the fact that Kevin Durant's got ears. You know, he's got rabbit ears.
Oh, he got big
stuff.
rabbit ears.
When it comes to stuff that people say about him, especially online, bro's got rabbit ears. So, you know, he hears that stuff and I feel like he takes it personal. You know what I mean? And he shouldn't, because we're in the age of every fan can talk as much trash as they want. Bless you. That was the weirdest damn sneeze I've ever heard.
I was trying to hold it.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't know where that came from. Shit. I was gonna say. But I guess my question, Rob, is, I don't know. Like, do you play? I don't know if you've ever had that though. Have you? Where you've played against a team where you've had a chip on your shoulder against that team?
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
really? Really? Because you love the Rockets, but when you went into the Lakers, you played with a chip on your shoulder against the Rockets for trading you?
Of course. It's a pride thing. And if you don't play with a chip on your shoulder, that means you don't give a shit. And for me, even when I went to Phoenix, I wanted to play against the Rockets. And when I went to the Lakers, I wanted to play against the Lakers and Phoenix. And then I went to the Spurs, I want to play against all three of them. That's just how it is, because you always want, think about it. It's like when you break up with your girlfriend. It's like, oh, you want to make her jealous because you get a,
you want to get a hotter
smarter,
girl.
richer, hotter girl. And this is how it is. And if you don't, it's like, especially, I think more so when you're in a situation, let's say, where you don't want to be somewhere. You say, okay, you do it the amicable way and say, yo, man, I want to be out. It maybe not then, but for me, I didn't want to leave Houston. I didn't want to leave LA. I wanted to get the fuck out of Dodge and Phoenix.
Well, we knew that. That was obvious.
I still, at the end of the day, you still want to show them, like, see, this is what, if you'd have used me the right way, this is what I could have did for your organization. And blah, 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 blah. But I think when you go back to the KD situation, when you look at this trade, it worked out for both parties, I think. If you really think about it, because Phoenix is way better than they were last year. Now Houston, their record is not as good as it was, but they have
a good team
that
though.
They can close instead of like looking around like, Jalen, are you going to do this? Or are you going to do that? Disappearing that. Dylan Brooks, are you going to, be a tough guy, or are you going to play basketball? And I think it worked out for both parties. But only the playoffs can tell, and time would tell. But I think also, I love the fact that KD has rabbit ears, because I'll be waiting for those responses just so I can get a giggle out of it.
Look, for sure. Don't get me wrong. Two things. It's always interesting when he has something to say based off what he heard or based off what he read on Twitter, because we all know he got burner accounts, probably multiple. Two, I'm okay with him having a chip on his shoulder, but I think it's different between having a chip on your shoulder and then it being always woe is me. I think sometimes those are two different kind of things. You can have a chip, like Michael Jordan always had a chip on his shoulder. Kobe always had a chip on his shoulder. And granted, those guys were not traded like Kevin Durant were, but superstars have chips on their shoulder. But it just seems as though his chip comes with the bottle of a box of Kleenex, everywhere. And it just, I don't know. It's like, bro, things did not work out in a lot of places you were going. And guess what? In order for these teams to get back assets, hey, you're the most valuable piece. You're the most tradable piece. You're the superstar. It happens like that. Yeah. And that's just what it is.
Yeah. I think the one thing about that clip that stood out to me was the beginning, where he said, a place I didn't want to leave. I didn't really think that. I didn't get the vibe that he wanted to stay in Phoenix because things weren't going well there. Now, again, he never came out and said, I want to be traded. I don't think he did at least come out and publicly ask for a trade or anything like that. But I never got the vibe that he was like, I don't want to leave Phoenix. I want to play for this team as long as they'll have me. I never got that vibe from him. in Phoenix.
Nah,
That was the most for me. That was the most surprising thing about the clip was a place you didn't want to leave. They were losing. They were a bad team.
I think he was hoping that at some point in time they would all, because they barely were all on the floor together at one time. Because either one of them were hurt, two of them were hurt. There was a point in time where all of them was
Bradley
hurt.
Beal was hurt most of the time he was there. He only played like 20-some games for the
Right. And so I think he was hoping that one day, consistently, we'll all be out on the floor and we'll actually be title contenders, and it just never.
Yeah, I never got. Let's do a quick look at the East, and then I'm going to play you a piece of audio that will infuriate both of you. Which is going to be fun for me. In the East, it's obviously still Detroit up there at 27-9. Celtics, by the way, up to the number 2 seed now.
Damn.
Somebody had them in the top 6 in my prediction.
I think I had them at 2 or 3, if I'm not mistaken, in my picks.
Hold on, I got my
they're up
list.
there behind Jalen Green, who we're going to talk about in a little bit as well. Jalen Brown, sorry. At 23.
The Hawks ahead of them.
Oh, no. Let's not talk about the Hawks. Well, actually, we're going to do that in a second. So, the Knicks right there, 23-13. Raptors at the 4. Sixers still hanging tough at the 5 seed, man. 19-15. Magic and the Heat at 6-7. 20-16. And the Cavs starting to figure it out. They're right there at 8 at 2017. So, again, you got a crowded East, a little bit lower on the totem pole than the West, but you got a crowded East. All right, here's
2-8 is only 3 games.
Yeah, 2-8 is just it's a spit shoot. All right, here's the piece of audio that I think will infuriate both of you. You mentioned Dylan Brooks' name a few minutes ago. This came up on the FanDuel show that is called Run It Back. This is Michelle Beadle, DeMarcus Cousins, Chandler Parsons, and Lou Will, which is, by the way, a good show. They do a good job.
They do a really good job.
This popped up, and I heard it. And I heard Boogie's take on this, and I was like, I got to get their take on this. So here was the question that Michelle Beadle posed to them.
Phone rings, you're the front office of the Lakers. We want to give you Dylan Brooks, but we'd like Austin Reeves. Are you taking that?
In a heartbeat.
Okay, wow.
You are out of your mind. No chance.
He's a culture changer, Dylan Brooks.
He's a culture changer. He's a proven winner. We talk about all the glaring holes when it comes to this Lakers team. He fits exactly what they need right now. He's also averaging about 22, 23, possibly 24 a game. I mean, you're getting a two-way player compared to a one-sided player. Why wouldn't you do it?
Boogie. Yeah. Boogie been drinking before the show started? Like, he was quick to be like, sign me up.
I get what Boogie's saying. And the reason Dylan Brooks is averaging that points because he's getting the shots. You play at the Lakers, you ain't going to get those same shots. And also, you got to understand, Austin Reeves' value is way more than Dylan Brooks' value. Now, you can give me Dylan Brooks, and I don't know what else they got over there that, like a big or something, a backup big or a small forward or something. I might think about it, but I don't think I would. I don't make that trade. I don't make that trade because
I didn't think
you got
would.
also.
Yeah.
Now you think about it. You got a guy who gets a high amount of texts in Luka Doncic. Now you got another guy coming in with it. Those two guys can do something really stupid that cause you a technical foul, which could cost you a game. So that I don't do it. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Also, I think we forget that earlier in this season, and obviously Reeves has been out for some time. I think he'll be back at the end of this month. We know LeBron was out, and so it was just him and Luka. He made himself a lot of money because there were times where he was playing better than Luka was.
Yeah, put up 29, 30 points. Yeah,
he had a 50-point triple. Was it a 50-point triple-double?
Something like that. Yeah.
Something close to that, or had like 9 assists or something. He
had some
showed.
Nights. Yeah, he had some nights.
Yeah, he showed in the absence of LeBron that he could take over. And there were games where everything fell on his shoulders and he won games for this team. I don't think anybody has ever said that about Dylan Brooks.
Yeah.
We've seen a massive improvement in Austin Reeves' game. Now, we can say Dylan Brooks is the better defender. Okay, cool. But from being able to put the ball in the bucket and seeing an improvement in other aspects of Austin Reeves' game, I wouldn't make that trade because I think I can get more back for him if I'm going to trade Austin Reeves.
Exactly.
Yep. And I feel the same way. No, I want to credit I think it was Chandler who said it. Are we just going to overlook the fact that Dylan Brooks and LeBron James are going to try and put on the same jersey and play on the same side of the floor? Like, that's probably not going to work out. That's probably not going to work out. I can't remember. I think it was Chandler who said it, but yeah.
I thought about that too, but it Westbrook and Beverly did it. So
I guess that's
who
true.
knows?
Yeah, I mean, look, kumbaya, we can mend fences. But yeah, I don't know. I just figured that was something worth talking about. I do want to, obviously, we got to talk about this. The biggest story going on right now in basketball is the Trey Young story. And obviously, with us here in Atlanta and Harper's connection to the Hawks, we have a little bit of insight, hopefully, on this and kind of know the situation. But it's come out now that Trey Young and his agents are working with the franchise on a trade. So it was breaking over the holiday that it was like, hey, it looks like the Hawks are going to be moving on from Trey Young. And that was all, Tim McMahon, ESPN type stuff. But now his agents have come out and said, yeah, we're trying to find a way to amicably end this. With the Hawks. Obviously, he missed a month and a half with the knee injury. We talked about this. The Hawks were 13-9 when he was out. Upon his return, they lost 6 straight. He sat out the last few games. The Hawks beat the Timberwolves and the Knicks without him. And right now, as of today, the Wizards have emerged as a legitimate potential trade destination for Trey in a deal construction centered around C.J. McCollum's expiring contract. The Hawks, by the way, fall into 10th now. In the West, in the East, I should say, sub 500. I think they're like 17-21 or something. So
yeah, that's 7 game.
I think we all looked at this, including Trey, and probably were like, all right, this is probably time. If there's going to be a time to amicably end this relationship with Atlanta, this is probably it.
I mean, the writing is kind of on the wall, which is they've been in discussion about this for quite some time, which is the reason why you never really rushed him back,
I think Rob talked
injury.
about that. Yeah.
It's throughout the process of him, recovering, those talks were going on. And they're looking like, okay, let's see what we have in this team. A lot of people want to blame the 6-game losing streak and the fact that they're giving up 120 points over that.
They are. Yeah.
I think it's a little obtuse to blame that fully on Trey because
it's never on one person. But
but
defensively,
like said,
this team is lacking.
That's the point. They've been lacking defensively.
Yeah.
But obviously, because Trey is the superstar and he's the face of this team, he is going to take a brunt of everything, whether it's true or not. But I do think it's important to try to see, obviously, I think this was going to come to pass at some point in time. I didn't know if it was going to be in season up to the trade deadline or it was going to be an off-season thing. So
Looks
where
like
he ends up,
now.
Where he ends up, I don't know what the package looks like. I don't know.
I can't imagine anyone wants to go to Washington, though.
Depends on what Washington is giving up. I know they said C.J. McCollum.
That can't be enough.
Is that enough, though?
That can't be enough.
Hell no.
No.
But
there's other things there.
You know what? Christian, my youngest, he said he heard the news. I'm like, what? He said they trying to get rid of Trey. And I was like, it's about damn time. I said, because they don't need it. And then he was like, where do you think he's going to land? And I started like going through each team. And I'm like, okay, the only team that's probably that could use him is teams at the bottom, like Washington. Then you said, who do Washington have? You got, Chris Middleton. They trying to buy him out. C.J. McCollum.
I forgot he was there.
Yeah, C.J. McCollum, like, is he enough? He's a great veteran. He's probably a great person in the locker room. And he said, who else on that team? I said, they're not going to get up Alex. Sorry. That's like, do they have picks? You're like, what can you do? Then I said, well, it's going to have to be like a 3-team something. I said, okay, maybe if you sit his ass out to Sacramento because you get him out of the East and put him into the West, what can you do in that package? Maybe you do Adam Levine or something, but then it's like, well, Adam Levine mess up the chemistry and it's going to be hard to trade him because I think any person that has value for Trey is going to probably mess up that chemistry they had. The only person that wouldn't mess it up is CJ. But there's nobody out there. Think about it. I was racking my brain trying to figure out who's out there where they're going to say, okay, fuck it. The only thing that's out there is picks. So
yeah, and even in the long discussions about the Trey AD possibility, My problem with that is
Well, there were like 3 teams involved in that, I think.
right. And I always said, like, we already have a big man that rarely plays in Porzingis. He just got back.
Yeah.
I don't. And people say, well, AD. I said, look, I know all about AD. I watched him all the time in LA. He's a fun. We know when he's on the floor and he's healthy, we don't have to explain what type of player he is. Anybody that knows basketball, they know and they've seen it. The problem is he ain't on the floor. So, and at the same time, I know Dallas in a potential trade with the Hawks, that coveted New Orleans pick that could be the number 1 pick in the draft this upcoming summer, which is something that the Hawks really covet and which is a valuable piece, especially in this draft. Mavericks would want to get their hands on it, and I think the Hawks are reluctant to let that go in a trade for Anthony Davis. I don't think they see it as worth it. I don't think they see it as worthwhile just because of his age and his health. And so I don't think that a trade like that would be able to go down.
Yeah, I just said the end of it's going. When you think about Trae, he's little. He doesn't play good defense. It's going to be hard. It's like, because the asking value that the Hawks are going to want for him is going to be above what anybody's going to pay. Because most players are going, oh, you really want to get rid of this dude? We ain't giving you shit.
Yeah.
So they're going to be like, fuck it. Eventually they're going to have to just take some BS.
Whatever they can get for him.
Get rid of him. Yeah.
All right, well, we'll see how it shakes out, but it's happening as we speak. I did want to bring up Jalen Brown. We talked about the Celtics clawing their way back up into the 2 spot. He's averaging 30.1 points a game, the highest single-season scoring average in Celtics history right now. And it was former Celtic Brian Scalabrine who kind of framed the MVP conversation around Jalen this way, because he's really not in it. But it was look at it from this perspective. He said, if Shea Gilgeous-Alexander lost Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, and Hartenstein, and Alex Caruso, would he be doing what Jalen Brown is doing for the Thunder? And I think that's actually a pretty compelling argument for maybe JB being in this MVP conversation, because we've talked about Boston being decimated on the injury side of things, losing guys in trades in the offseason, all that stuff. And yet, here they are. Now, granted, you're in the East, and the East is all over the road. But you clawed yourself back into the 2 spot behind Jalen. And he's playing like a superstar right now.
Yeah,
like
he just had a 50-point night.
Yeah, just the Clippers. Yeah.
He's laid some big numbers up.
Who, at the same time, the Clippers are on a 7-game win streak. They're hot.
Yeah, figure that one out.
They just lost.
Huh?
They just got beat by somebody.
Oh, well, they won 7 of 8.
The night before, yeah.
But still, they've been
climbing their way out of the cellar. Yeah.
I'm thinking about what Scalabrine was saying. I'm trying to think about, you lost the old ass Harrington. I mean, whatever his name is. And then the only person you really lost that was worth a shit was Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
It's a big piece.
Yeah, it's a huge piece, but you think about it, you picked up Anthony Simmons, who's not, he's still a fucking good player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now, you got to think about the Celtics bench. We never talked about their bench. Their fucking bench with Pritchard and, Sam and all those guys, they're fucking good. They could step into that role and kind of cover something Jason Tatum had. Even if, if the SGA lost his little running crew, that bench he got over there would still step in. So, I understand what he's saying.
Yeah,
but
I think he was just trying to give some perspective on the way he's playing. And to his point, I think
he still got a crew. That's all I'm saying. He ain't losing.
He does. But even with the crew and the bench and the guys he's got, if he's not playing the way he's playing, Boston isn't where they are right now.
Yeah, true. I also say this, with Jalen Brown being the guy and not have to share, you can really see how talented he is. And I think now he's like, he's playing with, oh, fuck it. It's my show. I ain't got to shed a rock. I can do the fuck I want to do. Coach, you can't take me out because there ain't nobody else on that bench as good as me. And so he's being Luka. He's being Michael. He's being Kobe. He's being LeBron. He's been all these great players where he has the ability to show what his true talent. I'm happy for him, but he still, to me, he's in the top 5 for MVP, but he's not first, second, or third.
Yeah, well, if they keep playing the way they're playing, he's gonna be up there
Yeah, he'll move
because
it up. He can move up right now. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that he's going to stay there, but because
yeah.
Jokic is out, which puts him in front of Jokic to me, so he still can move up.
And I get that it's the East, and it's one thing for a team to be a surprise and be, 5 or 6 and be in a place, when you lose a big piece like Jason Tatum, and a lot of people think you're gonna be left for dead, even in the Eastern Conference. But to be, what are they, number 2?
Yeah, sitting right now at the 2. But again,
you talking about number 2?
You just said though 2-7 in the East. It's like 2 games. Yeah.
That's true, but none of us.
Oh no,
I don't
most
think
people
any
wrote
of
them
us.
off. I think a lot.
Right.
This year.
And to be number 2 when most of the season thus far, 1 and 2 has been Detroit and New York.
Yep.
Which, most people would think are the 2 best teams in the East. So for them to even be sitting there in this conversation at number 2, albeit the Eastern Conference, but regardless, and the basketball that they're playing, hey, you MVP talk for Jalen Brown, and what's the head coach name? Missoula.
Oh yeah, Joe Missoula.
Some coach of the year consideration, because to lose, Jason Tatum is a franchise guy and he is a difference maker.
Oh yeah.
And to be able to lose him to that type of injury, I don't think many people had them sitting at the number 2 spot at any point in time in the regular season.
But just props to him because he's playing out of his mind right now. And he's doing a good job keeping Boston in the contention here in the East. All right, you know what? I'm gonna skip the NBA Cup curse. I wrote this on the sheet. Since winning the NBA Cup, the Knicks are 5-5. They're riding a 3-game losing streak. Everybody's like, "There's a curse, NBA Cup curse. It's gonna happen." The Lakers won the NBA Cup in 2023 and 24, exited in the first round. Bucks won it in 24-25. Same thing happened. So are the Knicks next in line was the question on the sheet. I don't know if this has any credence. I think this is too young of a NBA tradition to carry a curse yet. I mean, if this is the Madden curse and you're going 20 years deep, okay, we can, you know what I mean? We're 3 years in. But are you a superstitious guy when it comes to stuff like that or no?
No, not at all.
Okay, you didn't seem that way to me. But I do know a lot of guys, especially pro athletes, are very superstitious about that.
Yeah, we have a things that we do on a constant basis to get our mind right. But I wasn't superstitious where I got to wear the same socks,
same shorts or whatever. Yeah.
Same shorts. I got to do the same routine every day.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Just curious. All right, let's talk about. We got Big Shot of the Week coming up, and then we're gonna play a game called Black Monday, which you guys will enjoy. It's about the NFL. Get your mind out of your racial gutter. Okay. I did want to talk about the playoffs because we made our picks before we went to holiday break. Mm-hmm. We had there was a lot of really weird bowl games. Did you notice that? Like
yes.
the Pop-Tarts Bowl, we've seen it before, but watching them toast the mascot was like, I don't know, just uncomfortable. Dude from Arizona State, I wrote his name down. Jalen Moss. Arizona State catches the touchdown in the Frosted Flakes Bowl, jumps in the giant thing of Frosted Flakes after it. It was like bowl season is almost like borderline comical now.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's way more about the sponsor than it is to have anything to do with the actual team playing in the game.
Oh, you got to appease the sponsor.
Oh no, but it's like during the Pop-Tarts Bowl, and I love
Pop-Tarts.
I love Roddy Jones. Roddy Jones, one of my all-time favorite college
great.
football people. I love Roddy Jones. If you want, we can have Roddy on. We're friends with Roddy. We know Roddy. Roddy's a good dude. But Roddy was selling Pop-Tarts like they were the COVID shot. Like, he was just like, you go get you some Pop-Tarts, man. You feel great in the morning. Eat Pop-Tarts every day. Like, he went over the line trying to sell Pop-Tarts during the Pop-Tarts Bowl. And I was like, buddy, like, it's Pop-Tarts, man. We've all had them. It's cardboard with frosting on it. Like, let's not get crazy here. It's cardboard with jelly and frosting. Let's not oversell this thing. But a lot of weird bowl games. But the ones that counted were fun. Were very fun. Let's go through the quarterfinals. I'll recount our picks here, and then we'll get to pick the semifinals. We only got 3 games left. Number 10, Miami versus number 2, Ohio State. Ohio State was laying 9.5 points. Rob stuck with me, rolled with the U. Harper picked Ohio State. Miami wins 24-14. Just defensively blew up Ohio State.
They look good.
That defense looked almost borderline unstoppable against one of the best teams in college
like
football.
the Warren Sapp days.
Dude, the Keontae Scott pick six, Bain and Messidor were all over the place, dude. That game was a defensive win for Miami. So we won that game. Number 5, Oregon versus number 4, Texas Tech. Once again, Rob and I on the same page. We both went with the Ducks. Harp, you picked Texas Tech. Oregon won big in that one. Well, I think it was like 16-0 or something. I don't even think Texas Tech scored a point.
Like it was 23-0.
23-0. That's right. They scored that late garbage touchdown. I forgot. Number 9, Alabama versus number 1, Indiana.
You know what?
Indiana was laying a 6.5. We all picked Bama.
This game is on Rob.
Bama
Is
got
on me?
Bama got
Yeah.
boat race.
Well, no. Just think about this. Every team did what they were supposed to, but Bama. Think about it. Every team that played the week before won, but Bama.
Yeah, that was the only bye team that made it through was Indiana. Every other team with a bye got cooked. But
Blame DeBoer.
man, Bama, how did you feel watching that game? Because they were just getting toasted.
Once he fumbled the ball, I'm out. What's the quarterback? I don't even remember his name.
Ty Simpson.
When Ty fumbled that ball, I was like, it's over. I walked to the house, and me and my wife went to go hang out with Christian. I'm like, this shit is over.
Dude,
That was in the first half.
I was going to say it was 17-0, I think, at halftime. And I was like, I turned it on halfway through the second quarter, and it was 17-0. I was like, what the hell is happening? Like, oh, man, that was an ugly, ugly performance. But
you know what? Let's give credit. This goes to show
Indiana's
that
good.
Indiana's better than what I thought they were.
They really are.
And I think it has a lot to do with, where you are as a person in your life. Meaning all these 3 and 4 stars, they looking up at these guys that are 5 stars and these elite says, F you.
Don't matter.
I grinded like you did. I'm better than you, and I'm going to go out and prove it. And a lot of these, I'm not saying all these, but some of them come out like, oh, you're a 3-star. And next thing you know, you're getting punched in the mouth. Yeah. And I think that's the whole Indiana. Think about it. Indiana, I don't think they have one 5-star on their team. So that also goes to show you that these guys, these college guys, this isn't basketball and then football, I don't know about baseball. They don't know what the fuck they talking about because they don't go out and research these kids and get to know what's in here, what's in your heart and what's in your head and how you go out. Because sometimes there'll be situations where a guy might not have a good game because something going on off the field, off the court. But at the end of the day, let me go in and talk to your teammates. Let me talk to your coaching staff. What kind of work ethic do you have? Is he grinding every day to get better? Am I going to be that guy to unleash that beast? Can I flip that switch for you? And I think that's what the coach for Indiana has done to these guys. He's flipped that switch, and these guys are fucking beasts out there. They look hard. They look mad. They want to just beat you down.
And to your note, I don't think Kalen DeBoer has done that for Alabama. I feel like, and this is me talking out of my ass, I feel like Kalen DeBoer came in thinking, I got Alabama. I'm gonna let these Alabama guys do Alabama stuff, and we're gonna roll some people, and and then he loses to Vanderbilt last year and gets punched in the teeth, and then he kind of tries to right the ship and has a stumble again, and then you have this debacle where you just you showed you were gone by halfway through the second quarter. That game was over, and I don't know, I don't see. Nick Saban to me came across like somebody who would beat your head into the turf if you got beat on a play. Like he'd grab you by your face mask and drag you over to the sideline and chew you out. And I don't see DeBoer doing that. I just don't see that. I don't see that passion coming at him. Now, again, you're watching him on TV. So you don't know how he is behind closed doors. You don't know how he is in practice. But look at the fire of Kirby Smart, for instance, or Mario Cristobal. Or some of these guys that are they are out there shouting and hollering and grabbing guys and smacking. They are.
It's funny. Those 2 guys you mentioned, you forget who they were taught.
They are Saban.
Yeah. They're
Saban guys. They're all Saban guys.
Even Oregon,
Saban
guys.
Saban guys. Lanning, same way. Yeah. But I don't see it from DeBoer. I don't know. Maybe it's just what you see on TV versus what happens behind closed doors. I don't know.
Yeah, they're a soft team.
This year they were.
They're a soft team. They're a team that missed a lot of tackles.
They also look like they gave up in that game. Like as soon as they were down, they were like, "Fuck it, we're done."
Yeah, Saban is a secondary guy. He's big on his secondary, his corners, and his safeties. And I know for a fact he had to literally be watching that game, and in his voice be like, "What the hell are you doing?" Missed tackles by corners and safeties were a no for Nick Saban because that was his special. Like that's the part of the defense and the position which he specialized in.
Yeah.
And he always said, I will never play a DB who cannot tackle and cannot cover at all. And the way that secondary looked, hey, I don't care what your star rating was. You can get up out of Alabama.
All right, then the last game was number 6 Ole Miss versus number 3 Georgia. Georgia was laying a touchdown. Obviously, we know Ole Miss. Trinidad Chambliss, man. That young man played out of his mind in that game.
He did.
He's had games like that this year where he's just taken over. He's a special kid, man. I hope he stays there. I hope they get to keep him for a minute. He's something else, dude. He's a good story. He seems like he's a good young man, and watching him play the way he played against Georgia, that was pretty cool, man. So we all picked Georgia. I picked Ole Miss to cover, but yeah, that didn't work out for me. So on the season, here we are with 3 games left to go. Rob's 32-31. Harper is 32-31. I'm 38-25. So I'm going to run away with this one with 6-game lead, 3 to go. Just go ahead and you can send me the crown or the championship belt or whatever we have for this one. But yeah, I'm going to finish as a winner in this one. But we got 2 to pick this week. The Verbo Fiesta Ball. This is for a spot in the national championship game. Number 10 Miami versus number 6 Ole Miss. This is the Thursday game. Miami's laying 3. It is a field goal spread at the moment. Who do you think punches their ticket to the title?
You know what? I think what Ole Miss has done is absolutely amazing. But I think I've gone against Miami twice now. And that pass rush is ferocious. And the defense is playing lights out. So I'm going to go ahead and take Miami to move on to the Natty.
I'm taking Ole Miss. I just feel like this is destiny for them. They beat the number 1 team that was in football, second team, I should say, Georgia, Indiana, back and forth. But I think Ole Miss, I think the football guys are on their side. I think they squeaked this one out. And I'm taking Ole Miss to win this game. And I know, so that means they're going to cover. So I just got to roll with the Rebels, man. I think this is the only team probably in America that everybody's going to probably root for that doesn't have a dog in his fight.
Oh, yeah.
So they can say, fuck you, Lane Kiffin.
Yep. Pretty much. I'm sticking with my Canes, man. I'm rolling with Miami. I've seen that defense do things in this run. I mean, if you would have told me before the playoffs started they were going to hold Texas A&M to 3 points, and they were going to hold Ohio State to 14,
damn,
I'd have been like, "You're crazy." You mean in the first quarter? Like, no, in the game. That Miami defense and Mario Cristobal built this team backwards. He built it from the trenches out. So that offensive line does a good job protecting Carson Beck, and that defensive line is a nightmare. Nightmare for people. I haven't seen Ole Miss's defense do a ton to stop a lot of the run, and Mark Fletcher is a beast with a big line in front of him. So I don't know, man. I got a feeling Miami's gonna get it done in this one. I'm gonna go with the Canes. Punching. By the way, the national championship game is at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami.
No, it'll be a home game for them.
You know Miami wants that more than anything in the world. Play a home game for the Natty? Come on.
Oh, that's going to be incredible.
All right, and then the Friday game, which we have here on 680 The Fan in Atlanta. If you're in Atlanta, we're carrying the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, our own local call of it.
I will be producing the broadcast.
Brandon Harper producing this game. The call from Ben Ingram, who's the voice of the Braves, and Chuck Oliver. The Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, number 5 Oregon versus the aforementioned number 1 Indiana Hoosiers. Current line, Indiana's laying 3.5. This line's moved down a little bit. It started at 4. It's gone down to 3 and a hook. Thoughts, feelings, concerns?
I just don't trust Oregon's defense. I've watched them, and they scare me. Some games they look awesome. Some games they look like they can't stop me. So I got to roll with Indiana. It's not because of the way Indiana punched Bama in the mouth. I just think that, they're a team of destiny, and I just think Oregon's defense isn't enough to stop the Heisman Trophy winner.
Okay.
The way Indiana was able to steamroll Alabama, and we understand Alabama's been a shell of themselves. They're not like past Alabama teams, but they didn't just beat them. They stole their soul.
You stole your soul.
They literally stole their soul. And so the way that they were able to run the football told me a lot about them. And they're the team, in a sense, they're the team of destiny. The Indiana, nobody would have ever thought, they were good. Nobody ever thought they were this good. I'm going to take Indiana in a close one, because I think Oregon and Dan Lanning they're going to have something for them.
They're good.
Because they're good too. But I think
good.
Indiana's going to win this in a close one.
I'm also going to go Indiana for the reason, I think on the show last week I had said something like, I don't know how much I believe in Indiana. And then to Harp's note, they stole Alabama's soul. And I was like, oh, man, that was the first time in the whole year. And this is, by the way, the number 1 unbeaten team in the country. This is the first time the whole season I went, shit, I might have undersold Indiana a little bit. It took up until that moment for me to go, oh, damn. Okay, so Indiana's real. So I'm going to go with the Heisman Trophy winner, and I'm also going to pick Indiana, and I'm going to go against you a little bit, Harp. I don't know if this is really even that close. This might be like a 2-touchdown win for Indiana. Now, I don't think Oregon's going to snooze. I think they're going to prep hard for this game. If I had a rooting interest in the game, I'm probably pulling for the Ducks. From a Miami standpoint, I would love to see the Hurricanes and Mario Cristobal have to play his old team, Oregon, in the national championship game in Mario's new building. As a Canes fan, that makes me happy. But I think Indiana's going to get it done. So I think we're all going Indiana on that one. All right, let's do Big Shot of the Week, and then we're going to play our game. And we will wrap up this show. We will have a shoot-around coming up on Friday, so just a heads up. We haven't had one last few weeks because we've been in the holidays, but we will have our return of the shoot-around on Friday. Big Shot of the Week is going to go to a young woman named Betty Kellenberger, an 80-year-old retired school teacher from Carson City, Michigan. I saw this over the break, and I love this story. She wanted to hike the Appalachian Trail, which, by the way, runs through 14 states from Maine to Georgia, is 2,200 miles long. It was on her bucket list. She wanted to do it. She tried in 2022. She didn't make it due to lingering effects from dehydration, and she got bit by a tick. She had Lyme disease.
That's crazy.
So she tried it again in 2023. But a bad fall forced her to abandon the adventure. So she tried it again, and on September 12th of 2025, just this past year, Betty completed the northern end at age 80 years old, besting the previous record by 6 full years to become the oldest woman to ever hike the Appalachian Trail.
Wow.
Damn, big shot of the week, young lady.
Big shot of the year.
Dude, I couldn't have done that in the prime of my youth. That woman did it at 80 years old, and it made me think, is there something you want to do? Like, what's on your bucket list? Got to do it. Because this was hers.
For me,
got to do it.
I want to go to Alaska, and I want to go ice fishing. And I want to be there and cut the hole in the ice. But
Why?
Here's the thing. I just want to catch one, and then I'm out.
And then you're done.
I don't like cold weather.
Unbearable cold. Like, that's not even fun cold. That's just...
I want to go ice fishing just to experience it. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
No judgment. Maybe a little judgment, but okay.
It has to be something that's like outside the box. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
I think I got two. I want to go zip lining through the rainforest.
That's a good one.
Whether Costa Rica
Yeah, they
or
do
wherever.
a lot of those. Yeah.
Argentina.
Stop it.
Venezuela, if you're up for it.
Down the hall.
It's a running joke here at the radio station. Yeah.
Yeah. The other one is I want to go on a I've never been in a hot air balloon.
Oh, I'm good on that one.
So I'm good on that one.
Rob tapped out on that before even the thought alone is all right.
I know out in Arizona they do a lot of hot air balloon rides, and I would try a hot air balloon. I would like to experience something like that.
I mean, like, that's, I don't know. I'm starting to kind of fall in with Rob on this. The idea of being in a tiny basket. Man,
I don't think the basket is as
suspended
tiny
from a
as people
giant
think.
balloon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
I don't know. Like, I mean, I watched the Hindenburg go down, so I'm just saying, like, I don't trust a giant hot air balloon full of air and fire over my head. I don't know.
Just saying.
Mine's a little bit lame just because it's travel related, but I need to go to Rome. Like, I have to do that once.
Okay.
I'm like, I have like it's not an obsession, but like I love like ancient history. So like Rome and Athens, Greece are like the two that are like, and probably Paris at some point just to see all the great stuff in Paris. But I need to do like a little European jaunt before I go at some point. Because
that's second on my list.
Yeah, I've never done Rome, and the history, like just the Trevi Fountain and all the other stuff that, dude, there's so much stuff to see in Rome. You could do it for like 2 weeks and not see it.
My first stop is the Colosseum.
You got to see the Colosseum.
Yeah.
You got to see the Colosseum.
Yeah.
I mean, lots to do. Eat the Italian food, all that stuff. But like, we had a friend of ours that for Thanksgiving took his family to Paris. And he was at the Louvre, and he was at like 2 weeks before they robbed it. And he was all over the place in Paris, and like every part of that was like, that sounds dope. Like for me, it's Europe. I got to do Europe at some point before I go.
And third on my list of things I want to do is go to Venice before it fucking disappears under the water.
Well, yeah, there's that too. But that's on my jaunt.
Yeah.
Venice is on the jaunt. Gondola ride in Venice. See stuff in Rome, Paris. Try to see the Acropolis or something in Africa.
Yeah. A third one is I want to go on an African safari.
I'm good
on that one.
Yeah, I'm good.
South Africa, Tanzania, Kenya. I definitely would love to go to South Africa. I know South Africa has a lot to offer, but I've always wanted to go on an African safari.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good. They'd pin me as a poacher. They'd be like, "Get him!" One of those American dentists out here trying to shoot a lion. Get his ass. All right, let's play this week's game. This one is centered around Black Monday, and when I say that, I mean the Monday following the end of the NFL season.
Yep.
When all the coaches get fired.
Damn.
And man,
there was a lot this year.
Man, there were a bunch. We actually, so far, have had 6. Now, it's Tuesday. By the end of the week, that number could grow.
Yep.
But I'm going to do a little high-low game here with you. We'll go back and forth. One of you just tells me a number. The other one just has to say, do they think it's higher or lower?
Okay.
And it's going to have to do with all of the organizations that have fired their head coaches in the last day. We're going to start with our Atlanta Falcons, who have fired Raheem Morris, as well as their general manager, Terry Fontenot, after another just subpar disappointment of a season in Atlanta, which has been that way, I think, since like 2018. It has sucked
this eight straight seasons missing the playoffs.
Terrible. So my question to you is, and this is how this question is going to go. Rob, we'll start with you. Over the last 20 years, how many coaches have the Falcons hired and fired in the last 20 years?
What do you mean, like hired and fired?
Hired them and fired them. How many coaches have they had in the last 20 years?
Question, because I know Brandon's gonna know this. So
I'm trying to think.
So it's been 20 years. It seems like they change the coach every year. So I'm gonna go 18.
18. Harper, is the real number higher or lower than 18?
You said the last 20 years, right?
Last 20 years.
I think it's lower.
All right.
That's a lot of coaches.
The point will go to Brandon Harper. Yeah, it's lower. They 7.
That's a lot of coaches.
Seven
Yeah, that's
coaches,
a lot of
yeah.
coaches.
Jim Mora.
Go ahead.
Okay, no, I was going to Jim Mora, 04 to 06. Bobby Petrino in 2007. Mike Smith had the big run here, 2008 to 2014. Dan Quinn, 2015 to 2020. Raheem Morris the first time in 2020. Arthur Smith from 21 to 23. And then Raheem Morris again from 24 to 26 got popped. So 7.
Yeah.
All right, Harper, you're up next.
So I figured my thing is you said fired. So you fired, that's the one you got to hire. So whatever it is.
Well, the basic question is how many coaches have they had in 20 years? Okay, so keep it basic.
Yeah.
All right, Harper. The Cleveland Browns fired Kevin Stavinsky on Monday, making them pretty much the gold standard in coaching changes. Over the last 20 years, how many head coaches have the Cleveland Browns had? He's thinking.
Probably 20.
All right, Harp's going 20 in 20 years. Rob, do you think the real number's higher or lower?
I'm going to go lower. I'm going to go lower.
Rob's going lower.
I don't know what I was thinking.
That point's going to Rob. They didn't have a new coach every season for the last 20 years. But the correct answer, by the way, is 9.
Wow.
Romeo Crennel, 05 to 08. Eric Mangini, Pat Shermer, Rob Chadinsky, Mike Patine, Hugh Jackson, Freddie Kitchens, and then Kevin Stavinsky. So there you go.
Tripping.
9 head coaches in 20 years, which basically means every 2 years they're good for a coach. All right, we're 1-1. Robert Horry. If you want to talk about terrible coaching hires, the Oakland Raiders deserve to be in the GOAT conversation. They just fired Pete Carroll 1 year into his 3-year deal. And if I'm not mistaken, the Oakland Raiders are still paying 3 head coaches. I think they're paying Pete Carroll, John Gruden, and somebody else.
John Gruden for a long time.
Yeah, but they're still paying 3 guys. So in the last 20 years, how many head coaches have the Oakland Raiders had?
They've changed coaches every 2 years, so I'm going to say 10.
10. Harper, is the real number higher or lower than 10 head coaches?
I think it's higher.
All right, the point goes to Robert Horry, 9. You're right there, 9. It was a touch lower. It was 9 head coaches. Art Shell, Lane Kiffin, Tom Cable, Hugh Jackson, Dennis Allen, Jack Del Rio, John Gruden, who they're still paying, Josh McDaniels is the other guy they're still paying, Antonio Pierce, and Pete Carroll. That is a run of coaches right there, man. They suck at hiring head coaches.
Didn't they have another one? I think he was an interim.
Oh,
maybe they don't count.
I wasn't counting the guy who got fired and the interim was there for 3 games.
Yeah.
I'm not counting that guy.
Okay.
All right, Harper.
Somebody,
you're
the
up.
former player who got fired. What was the former player? The bald head black guy for the Raiders.
In Oakland?
Yeah,
I don't know. Was he an interim?
Yeah, he was the interim coach. That's what
all
he's
right.
talking
Yeah, I'm
about.
not sure. Yeah. All right, Harper. For a long time, the Tennessee Titans were the picture of mediocre coaching stability in the Jeff Fisher era. He was there a long time.
They were.
But after Jeff Fisher, it's been a roller coaster ride. They just fired their head coach, Brian Callahan. In the last 20 years, including Jeff Fisher, how many coaches have the Titans had?
7.
All right, Rob, is the real number higher or lower than 7? Rob says lower, and it is a touch lower. It is 6. It is 6. So we're looking at Jeff Fisher, Mike Munchak, Ken Wisenhunt, Mike Malarkey, Mike Vrabel, and then Brian Callahan. So it has been 6.
Vrabel, how he was pronounced.
Vrabel was there for like 5 years. Yeah, 5 seasons,
right?
2018 to 2023. He was the guy that I thought that, okay, if Tennessee's going to find a way back to what they were back in the day, then Vrabel's going to get them there. He hit him close. He just didn't have the.
Doing now.
Yeah, he didn't. What is Mike Vrabel doing now?
He's coached.
He's the head coach in New England.
Oh, he is the head coach of the Patriots.
Yes,
What the hell am I talking
Patriots.
about? They're going there 13-3 or 13 some shit. 13-4.
They might have the MVP on their team. That's gonna be a good
MVP
thing.
of what?
Of the NFL.
No, it's Matthew Stafford.
I'm just saying that's what they say. I'm just saying they 1-2.
That's okay. I'm telling you, it's Matthew Stafford.
Okay.
I know. Hey, I
The
would agree
Rams
with
fan is
because
telling you.
Matthew Stafford.
The numbers tell you that.
Okay.
Matthew Stafford has more touchdowns. Matthew Stafford has a harder schedule. I get that. I understand that.
But
I'm just
everybody
saying.
wrote the Patriots were Midland. They're mediocre at best last year. And now they're one of the best teams in the AFC. All right.
Congratulations to him.
All right, Robert Horry.
Yes, sir.
The New York Giants fired Brian DeBall mid-season this year. Seems a long way off from those Super Bowl runs. In the last 20 years, how many head coaches have the New York Giants had?
They've had 6.
Rob says 6. That is not correct. Brandon Harper, is the real number higher or lower than 6?
Over the last 20 years?
Last 20 years.
I think it's higher.
Is a touch lower. 5.
Dang.
5. We are at Tom Coughlin had the big run there.
Oh, yeah.
2004 to 2015.
15,
2
yeah.
Super Bowl wins. Then it went Ben McAdoo, Pat Shurmur, again, a repeat, Joe Judge, and then Brian DeBall.
That's true. I forgot about Tom Coughlin.
All right, couple more quick ones here, and then we will wrap this thing up. Brandon Harper. The Arizona Cardinals fired Jonathan Gannon after another disappointing season in Arizona. How many head coaches have the Cardinals had in the last 20 years?
20 years ago, back to 06. I know. I think it's 6.
6. Robert Horry, is the real number higher or lower than 6?
Lower.
The point's actually going to go to Harper. It's 6. What? On the nose. Dude.
Oh.
On the nose. Denny Green, Ken Wisenhunt, Bruce Arians, Steve Wilkes, Cliff Kingsbury, and then Jonathan Gannon. So there you go. I'll give you 2 last quick ones here. Rob, the Miami Dolphins should have fired Mike McDaniel. They did not. So for a little bit of a bonus question here, how many coaches have the Dolphins had in the last 20 years?
6.
Harp?
Saban. Was Saban in that 20-year span?
He was.
Yeah.
He was the start of it.
I think it's 7.
Point for Rob. 6.
It's 6, right on the 8.
It was
You know what? He
Saban,
said that
Ken
with a lot of
Cameron, Tony
confidence.
Sperano,
No, I just said it because
Joe
you said it
Philbin,
earlier.
Adam Gase, Brian Flores, who should not have been fired, and then Mike McDaniel still employed. For an extra bonus point for the both of you, do either of you know how many coaches the Pittsburgh Steelers have had all time?
3.
No, I just saw this. They were talking about this on TV the other night. They had 3 since, I think, the 70s or something like that.
Yeah.
Since the inception of the team in 1969, the Pittsburgh Steelers have had 3 freaking coaches.
Yeah, because Chuck Noll.
Chuck Noll from 69 to 91, Bill Cowher 92 to 06, Mike Tomlin.
And Mike Tomlin.
3 coaches all time.
Yeah.
Some of these teams have had 9 coaches in the last 20 years. They've had 3 all time.
Yeah, 3.
And then they trying to fire him. Like,
No, I don't think
They
they're
ain't
trying to
firing
fire
Mike
him.
Tomlin. They ain't gonna fire Mike Tomlin.
If
for a
Mike
long
Tomlin
time.
leaves, it's because they've come into he's gonna leave out. They're not gonna fire him.
he leaves when he's tired.
He needs a nap. He's done.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Somebody
I'm
give me a
done.
break.